Hello, Dennis Bulldogs, and today we are going to talk about a topic that is very important. It's going to be a little bit shorter video because I am a little short on time today, but it's still something that's worth talking about. So we are going to talk about the word empathy. And empathy, I'm going to actually read the direct definition so I make sure that I tell you everything correctly, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When someone is having big emotions, you can be a good friend or family member, sibling, by showing empathy. So have you ever heard anybody say, what would it be like to walk a mile in their shoes? So trying to put yourself in that person's situation and try to think how you would feel if you were in their situation. So we have a little example, a little cartoon here. And the little person here is saying, I feel sad that we have to move to a new city. And her friend is saying, I can imagine how sad you must feel. So can you imagine having to move to a new school or city? And how would you feel? And so they're just trying to relate to how they feel. One thing that we need to know is the difference between empathy, knowing how someone might feel or being able to put yourself in their shoes, and sympathy. So sympathy is a great quality to have. You feel bad for someone else. That's great. But empathy takes it a step further. With empathy, you actually have to try to imagine life from another person's point of view. So you try to walk a mile in someone's shoes. So there's just two lists here, and one is what is empathy, and empathy is not. So empathy is listening, just being there for support, asking about their feelings, allowing time for them to let out their emotions, so not interrupting them or trying to give advice, just letting them talk, showing concern and interest in their situation, being thankful and showing gratitude that they shared their feelings with you, and paying attention to their current needs. Empathy is not telling them to stop feeling and crying. So we should never tell someone to suck it up or stop crying. There's nothing to cry about, because there's nothing wrong with crying or having emotions, but we just need to learn how to cope with those. And then if we're feeling sad and crying all the time, that may be something that we need to talk to a counselor like me, or if you have a counselor in your life, or your parents or your guardian, somebody that you trust. If you're feeling like you're sad all the time, that could indicate a problem. Trying to solve the problem with too much advice. So you don't just want to give advice. The biggest part of being empathetic is listening. Judging their reaction or blaming them. So since we're trying to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, that doesn't mean that we know exactly how they're feeling. So we don't want to judge them or blame them for their emotions or for the situation. And the other thing we don't want to do is pointing out their mistakes. That's not going to be helpful in this situation, and we're just there to kind of lend our ear and help them through it. I have some quotes about empathy, and I'll put a couple of them at the bottom in the information box below. And here's a few things. I'm going to read off this list because I think they did a really nice job with this. But if someone's talking to you about problems going on at home, these are things that you can say to show empathy. I'm sorry you're going through this. My heart hurts for you. I'm so glad you told me this. Thank you for opening up to me. Is there anything else you want to share about this? You are so brave. Do you need anything from me right now? I'm here for you. Or I can see this is really difficult for you. So any of those would be great things to say to show empathy. And a last little challenge question, if you want to, just think about the answer, if you want to send me your answer, is how would you explain empathy to a younger friend? So what would you say? What advice would you give to show empathy? It's a really helpful skill to have, but it's also takes some skill and some time to really learn how to show it to someone else. So I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will be back tomorrow to talk about another topic. So see ya.